Hey everybody, Yankee here. Yesterday I did a video where I talked about what I thought was the most interesting of the new guns Smith & Wesson recently announced. I talked about the SD40 2.0 because they updated it with the new trigger, and I've always thought this was a good gun, so I did a video about it because I thought this was a nice announcement. But in that video, I got a few people saying, hey, why are you ignoring all the other guns? Why are you not talking about them? Well, to be honest, I wasn't really ignoring them. I looked at them, paid attention to them. I just didn't find anything exciting or all that interesting. But I went back and looked again, and I guess, there's some things in those announcements that some people would really like. So I'm going to talk a little bit today about the new Smith & Wessons coming out. And there's a few. Recently they've announced things like, they did the 2.0 metal, the M&P 2.0 metal. They did it in 40 Smith & Wesson. So that was a nice addition. Then they did the SD40s, like I was talking about already, that I really thought were interesting. Next was like a shield that has a threaded barrel. And I'm sorry, I don't consider adding a threaded barrel making a new model. I mean, so what if it comes with a thread? You can change a barrel in a second. And also, who's going to put a suppressor on a shield? I mean, I just don't see anybody doing that. I mean, if you're like a world-class assassin, maybe, but even then I think you'd have more class. You'd use something like, an Inox Beretta Tomcat with a little canister on it. And they make those little small ones that look really cool on it. And that 32 would do better suppressed, I think, than that 9mm shield. So I just don't find that exciting. One, I don't think it's a new model just because you put a threaded barrel in it. And two, I don't think anybody would want it. I mean, some people probably will, but I wouldn't want it. One of the other things they did is they announced a bunch of compensated guns. I almost said compressed guns. That wouldn't be good. Nobody wants a gun that's already compressed. I'd be crushed, I guess. Nobody would want that. But they issued some compensated guns. Although I wouldn't put it past Smith & Wesson to market compressed guns, ones that got damaged in the factory, got smushed or something. They're like, oh, they're special. Because lately it seems like they're just trying to make a buck. And that's what it seems like they're trying to do with these compensated model guns. Because they're nothing that special. They're just capitalizing on a trend right now. That is compensated slides and barrels that really don't do anything, in my opinion. I have not been able to see anything that these compensated guns actually do differently. It's just an aesthetics thing. It's a trend. It's a fad. So they released a shield that has a new compensated slide. Now, that is a new model. It's got a new slide. They released a Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 or M&P 9 2.0 with the compensated slide. And they released also the Smith & Wesson Metal 2.0, also in 9mm, with the compensated slide. Now, that one I actually think is pretty cool. So I will have to admit that after going back and looking, the little gimmicky thing kind of worked on me. But it's not because, it's got a comp, it's going to recoil less, because I don't know if anybody can prove that. I have guns that are the exact same size. One is comped, one isn't. I can't tell the difference side by side. I can't. I've tried to fool myself. Can't tell the difference. I don't think anybody can. And unless someone sets up a mechanism to actually measure it, a mechanical mechanism that can measure the recoil energy off of the different types, compensated and non-compensated, I'm not going to believe they do anything. So I think it's just a fad, and it's just so people can say, look, my gun's compensated, and it's got a special look to it. It's got more holes in it and everything. People love the speed holes in their slides these days. But I will say I do like the looks better of the compensated ones. Not because of the comp at the end, but because of how they do the serrations and stuff better on the M&P, especially the M&P metal now. Instead of having those weird scales, those little pointy scale things that I never really cared for, I thought they were not great. Now they have what looks like S's and chevrons. It looks completely different. And I like this look a lot better. The compensated part could be there or not be there. And if it was adding length to the gun, I would say I'd rather not be there. But it doesn't appear like it's adding any length. In fact, the specs on the new metal guns is actually a little shorter than the regular guns. So I don't know what's going on there. I guess when they redesigned the slide and everything, they ended up with just a little bit of a hair of a savings when lengthwise. So since it is a little shorter, I don't care that it's compensated. I don't think it hurts it. I just don't think it does any good. And I do like the way they look better. Those S's and chevrons look so much better. So I guess that's good. The fact that you can get the shield now with the better looking slide that happens to be compensated. You can get the M&P 9 with the better looking slide that happens to be compensated. And same thing for the M&P 9 metal 2.0, but there's also another difference with the metal. It looks like they've changed how they coat the guns. When I first looked at the metal, I was really wanting to buy it, but I didn't like the coating on it. It looked like a cheap Cerakote job someone did in their garage, like someone like me would do in their garage. So I didn't like it. I'm like, a gun coming from the factory that is that nice should have a better finish on it. And based on the pictures of the new compensated model, it's got a regular anodized black frame, and it's got a regularly finished slide. So it looks a lot nicer. Not only do I, like I said, like the cuts on the slide better, I like the finish on the slide and the finish on the frame better. They look smoother, sleeker, more professionally finished now. I like them a lot. I did not like that Cerakote rough finish on them, period, at all. So I guess these new guns that I said are like, uninteresting. They're interesting in some ways that they do look better. I mean, they're striker-fired guns mostly. That's why I wasn't that interested. But I am interested in the metal. Like I said, I wanted to buy it before, but I just didn't like the finish. This new one with the comp, I might buy this one. But it's not because of the compensated slide and barrel. It's because, and I don't even know if the barrels are compensated. Sometimes they just do the freaking slides. So I'm betting these are just the slides. So I don't care that the slide is compensated or not, but I like the way it looks better and I like the finish better. So I might actually buy this M&P metal if I ever have any money. But other than that, they just weren't interesting to me. They might be interesting to you just because, like I said, if you like striker-fired polymer guns, now you can get the shield and the M&P 9 in one model that is compensated, but most importantly, looks a lot better. And if you like the M&P Shield Metal 2.0, you can get one that has a better looking slide and a nicer finish. So I guess that is a good thing. On one of the new guns becoming... Get it right. Wessons just released, which... On one of the new guns, can I run my words together a little more? Another one. And that was the, what the fuck was it? Well, we're not going to go into that. I shouldn't have mentioned it at all, actually, in the last, I don't know, few months. And fuck the low-cost SD40, low-cost, I'm so thirsty, but if I drink something, I'll burp. But since people are saying, hey, you're kind of, I talked about the SD40